SEO for car dealers, does it drive meaningful results in 2025? I've talked to a few dealers about this, and there is some speculation, especially with all the artificial intelligence out there, that does SEO even really matter anymore? Well, let's actually figure it out. So, when I talk about SEO, I specifically refer to SEO content building where you're actually creating new content, whether it be on your website. Well, it has to be on the website, but it can mirror other places that you may build content. I do believe that form of SEO is very much still relevant. And I think it'll always be relevant because even if our search engines evolve into something way different than we have now, then having good content, good quality product, and attracting people through written words is obviously going to help. And when I say content, it's not just written words, it's also the right images, the right comparison videos. You can have videos embedded in articles and blogs. That's what I talk about with content. Okay. If we're just writing for a search engine, that's not going to work. But when we're building a content strategy, that is what's really going to help with search engine optimization. So I'm going to show you an example of one of the stores that we do SEO content for, and I want to show you what these meaningful results are because oftentimes I'll hear, how do we equate a blog page to a car sale? Let's find out if it's actually relevant. So Google Analytics. I'm looking at a report, September 24th to December 22nd. And I'm looking at a Chicago based dealer. And this is the report that shows all of their pages. Okay. So this basically shows views, active users, views per active user, average engagement time, events, key events, not total revenue because it's not applicable, but all of these metrics it shows broken out by every single page that someone visited, right? So I'm descending by views. So this backslash right here is the home page. That's what the home page represents. And that got the majority of views in this time span. That makes sense. That's something that is fairly common. And your website homepage is going to generate a lot of activity, right? So with that, though, when I'm looking at my page path and screen class, I have to blur a lot out here, but you'll notice that the top 2 to 4 are search. And then we get into something here that says compare, or almost does. Then we have search, then we have compare, a full, and that's compare, a full compare, a full compare. These pages that I'm referencing here are actually blog pages. So this one, this one, this one, and this one are amongst the top visited pages across the entire website, bringing in, let's see, 9,200 views for this page alone, 5,400 views for this page alone, 4,300 views for this page alone, and about 2,800 views for this page. Now, that's a significant amount of pages, and it's more than 10% of their views, and that is just the content that we create. Now, we figure out a way, especially with comparison pieces, to actually generate our pages for this specific dealer in not only local search results, but national search results to the point where we're getting a lot of eyeballs from different states. So you may find, well, is that really relevant? Do we want those type of people? Do we want people from other states visiting my local business when there's hundreds of other dealers like mine in between us and them? And that's a really good question. So this report has to be filtered out a little bit more. It's not just enough to drive 9,200, 5,400, 4,300, almost, more than 20,000 views in our pages that we create. It has to be local and it should be contextualized. So if we go to this report, this is the report of the same dealer, okay? And we're looking at the same time span, September 24th versus December 22nd. And instead, I have now configured my report to look at two things, not just page views, We're going to look at events, right? And event counts. And not just anywhere in the US, I'm going to look at Chicago, okay? Because we need to find out, do these pages actually do anything? We know they're driving hits. That's fine. We know they're driving sessions and views. That's great. But are they leading? They're not going to sell cars. Nobody's going to sell a car but a salesman or a management staff inside the store. But are they leading to actionable business outcomes that we find valuable? So, do they? Well, we have the ASC events in here, the Automotive Standard Council events, and this is for a 90 days time span. We're only looking at Chicago. That's what these filters actually represent. And we're looking at key events, okay? So this is a stack of key events. This is all of our SEO pages, okay? So page view brought the most amount, right? That makes sense. There's a lot of page views as we saw in the previous report. Then there's item list page views. So these are actual VDPs. That's what ASC page view doesn't mean that. Those are just page views that ASC tracks. ASC item list page views, the item list is actual SRPs. So we have 515 events. For media interactions, that's someone actually playing with, video elements or filters. That drove 1,200 events. Element configuration. So element configuration is actually where they play with the filters. That drove 113 events. Item page views, those are VDPs, 88. Menu interactions, 155. So that's someone going to the menu and trying to figure out where they're going. CTA interactions, 95. A retail process, so someone doing a digital retail process online or starting that, 11. Search bar, 8. Com submission, 3. So com submission is actually interacting with the chat. These are business outcomes that we do like to see, right? And this is just something that Google Analytics can track by user. With all the different privacy updates that have been mentioned, it makes analytics less reliable in effectively tracking activity on the website. So with that limitation of tracking, we still show a good amount of healthy events that support we should create content. And here, according to Google Analytics documentation, GA4 can accurately track a user for up to 90 days by default as the attribution lookback window. And as the attribution lookback window for a key event is set to 90 days. So a conversion event can be attributed to previous interaction within that time frame. However, this can be adjusted depending upon your specific settings, but at least we know the default is 90 days. And that's part of the reason why we selected a 90-day overall view. So this is leading to actionable business outcomes, but there's actually another effect. This is filtered by sessions that originate with these content pages. This doesn't count all the people that we pushed to the site, then left the site, then picked up by our retargeting ads, both on Google Ads and Meta Ads. So that's the other full-fledged effect. It's hard to correlate content creation as far as low funnel attribution, but it's a necessary part of the mid funnel to bring people to the website that leave, but we know are making some sort of informed decision in the known future. And then we're able to retarget them with ads to push them down lower in the funnel. And that's why content creation is so pivotal. So if we're going to go back and ask, does SEO drive meaningful results for car dealers? My biggest thing would be, yes, content creation SEO, right? Search engine optimization in the form of content creation does drive meaningful results, as we've just proven. Let me know what you think in the comments. I can get into the other forms of SEO as well, but I'm curious what people have to say about what their thoughts about SEO for 2025 driving meaningful results. Thank you so much. David Feldman-Makrias. Talk to you soon.